Hello, everyone. Welcome to KTAL News Now. I'm your host, Anthony Mocklin, and today is Thursday, which means we'll be looking ahead to some of the weekend events that are upcoming this weekend around the Shreveport-Bossier area. If you're just tuning in and this is the first time you've tuned in this week, you'll notice that things are a little bit different in here, and we covered that yesterday where we showed off all of our brand new tech and toys and everything around here in the new digital center. We have all new cameras, microphones, brand new computer, a sound system, everything that you would ever need to deliver the best news possible to you, our audience. And I hope that you stick with me through today as well as the rest of the show, because we have a lot of exciting things happening around the area this week. So let's get into that with a lot of different fall activities that are happening. And if you were at the most recent Pumpkin Shine online at Betty Virginia Park this week, you'll know that there were a whole bunch of different decorated pumpkins from local schools that were on full display throughout the park. I got to go and just walk through the entire thing, and it was such a cool experience. There was so much creativity on display from area schools here. There were combinations of pumpkins that I didn't even think were possible, from Star Wars themed ones to children's books to fairy tales to everything, with all kinds of decorations and extensions. Like there was a pumpkin with like an elephant trunk, and just like it's incredible what these kids are capable of creatively and just thinking outside the box to make their art come to life essentially. And that was really, really awesome and magical to see, and I'm glad I got to go to that. But if you want more of a pumpkin pitch fix specifically at a pumpkin patch, the St. Luke's United Methodist Church is having their pumpkin patch from now all the way until Halloween, and their mission is to support community nonprofits. And KTAL's Susan Curtin got to sit down with the event organizers to hear more.
Our pumpkins are sourced from Navajo Nation in New Mexico, and that is, the primary source of their income and economy. So that's where we're getting them from. The sales of the pumpkins, a lot of people don't know that doesn't go to St. Luke's. We're not using it to support our church. We are giving 100% of the profits, 100% of the time to local charities, and that's organizations like Oakwood Home for Women, Gingerbread House, Plant a Seed, the Highlands Center, Woody's Home for Veterans, Nina's Road to Rescue. There are so many that we have given to throughout the years, and also Broadmoor partners with us, and they have some charities of theirs too. So we're really making a huge impact on the community with the ability to, fund such worthy organizations. And after the patch is through, if we have anything left, we donate to local hog farmers. Yep. So there's no waste.
That is so amazing. I mean, it really does service so many people. So it's open from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Saturday, That's 12 right. to 7 on Sundays. Starts September 22nd and it goes through the end of October.
Yes, through Halloween. We'll be there through Halloween.
Right. Now, you also, throughout the month of October, I know you have several events tied to the pumpkin patch. You just recently had a concert, is that right? Or
That'll be Friday, yeah.
This
Friday
concert,
from 5:30 to 7:30. The Lovers will be at our church. We'll be in the pumpkin patch. That's Cole Vosbury. He was on The Voice several years back. Yes. So that is free and open to the public, and we would love to have everybody there.
And I love it. So that benefits members of the recovery community.
Yes.
So once again,
St. Luke's loves the recovery community.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's really amazing. And then the season winds down with a final trunk or treat in the parking lot. That's fun.
Yes, and we're prepared in case of rain. We are still having the event. Y'all still come out, trick-or-treaters. We've got you. We're moving it into the gym.
Okay.
So
That's right.
No worries there.
Well, that is good to know. So, I mean, because people donate candy, you're encouraged to come in costume. To date, over 800 local school children and residents of Holy Angels are scheduled for field trips. And you know what? I actually pulled up a little photo of my own that I brought from home. My own little kids taking pictures at the pumpkin patch.
Oh,
They're my
at
favorite
them.
fall pictures. They're 25 and 27 now, so I just cherish those. It's the perfect place to get your fall photos with your family.
It is, absolutely. And just like you, there are so many people that is a part of their fall tradition.
Absolutely.
That people that were coming there when getting their pictures
That's
made
right.
when they were kids, and now they're bringing their kids. And
This is the 35th year of the pumpkin patch.
Isn't that amazing?
35th anniversary, and in that 35 years, we have raised over $250,000 for local charities.
Man.
And we're very honored to have a legacy like that.
And as you can tell from that, it's supporting a great cause. Be sure to stop by on Uri Drive from now until Halloween. You can visit our website for more information, but like I said, go support them. It's a great cause. It's going to be really, really awesome. It's always a family-friendly event there, and it's just a staple of fall, like they were saying. And you can find a full list of all fall-related and Halloween-themed events that are happening around the area on our website at ktalnews.com. And one other event that's happening is Haunt the Harbor, and that is taking place this Friday, October 24th, from 5:30 to 7:30 at the Harbor on Knight Street. And this is organized by the Volunteers for Youth Justice, and this is their second annual community event. It's their biggest outreach event of the year, and they provide resources to all sorts of families in need, particularly children. And Susan also got to speak with Alex Person of Volunteers for Youth Justice to hear more.
So this event is at the Harbor, and we house over 20 different community partners in the Harbor that will all open their offices, decorate, and invite kids and families to come in and trick or treat. And then the parking lot is going to be full of Shreveport Police Department, Caddo Sheriff's Office, Shreveport Fire Department, the Marshal's Office, other sponsors like Rice and Kindig, Barksdale Federal Credit Union. All of those people, Wheeling Construction will be giving away free hot dogs, chips, and drinks to everyone. So all of those partners will be in the parking lot with fun things for kids to do.
That is so much fun. So I know you have another event, Gumbo Gladiators, but this is by far your largest event.
Yes, so Gumbo Gladiators is our fundraiser and it's March 7th. I'll give you a little plug.
Excellent, excellent.
So be ready for that gumbo season. And that is our biggest fundraiser, but this is truly our largest outreach event where we invite other nonprofits from the area to come in and also share their resources with the families.
Well, it's so important for the community to be able to understand what you do in a really fun and inviting way, to know that it's a welcome resource that they can take advantage of.
Absolutely. You never know what life is going to throw your way, and you never know what resources you may need. It may be as simple as trauma-informed care or counseling, food pantry, help with financial situations, domestic violence, you name it, you may need it, and that's what this event is for, is to really just have all of our resources come together. We have other local nonprofits coming, such as the Gingerbread House will be there. We'll have people out talking about bike safety, why we wear our helmets, nurses partnering education for parents, all sorts of fun things that can help the family be the best family system that they can possibly be.
So, you know, costumes are welcome.
Costumes are welcome. Remember,
the whole family to come.
Whole family. It's family friendly. So let's, we got to remember that.
Keep it low key.
Low key. But everyone come, dress up. We have some really fun themes. We have a storybook theme, a group that's doing M&Ms. We have Monsters Inc. that's going to be there, and it's free. That's it. It is free. You just come, you get your trick-or-treat bag, you get hot dog, you get tons of candy. We want to thank all of our candy sponsors. We've had lots of people really step up and send us candy from our Amazon wish list, and we thank everybody that's done that, along with the sponsors that have given money for us to go buy our own candy, which is always fun. I've enjoyed buying candy.
Well, Volunteers for Youth Justice, you help families in crisis. You've
do.
got a broad range of services and around North Louisiana, and you address issues like truancy, abuse, neglect, behavioral services. You've got CASA, court-appointed special advocates. You offer programs on conflict resolution, just a wide range of services that you offer to the youth of our community.
We do. We service over 10,000 youth every year in our 9 different programs. We are in the Caddo Parish school system working with teachers and children right there where some of the triggers happen or some of the
Right.
conflict happens. And then also with our foster care with CASA, FINS, Family in Need of Services, where you may have a kiddo that's ungovernable, which is, just a kiddo that's maybe runs away or just has some behavior issues. How do we get them the resources that they need? But it's not just for that individual child, but it's the family as a whole. Our mission is to create a caring community for children, family, and youth in crisis. And no crisis is too small or too big for us to handle and help.
And one event that is also hosting their second annual community event is the second annual Eyeball, and that is being put on by the Louisiana Association for the Blind, and that is taking place this Saturday, October 25th at 7 p.m. at Live Casino and Hotel in Bossier City. And that is the largest adults-only Halloween party in the Shreveport-Bossier area, which is crazy. It's going to be a lot of fun. There's so much in store. There's going to be dueling DJs with DJ Yoshi and Static Shock providing all the music and entertainment. And there will be plenty of hors d'oeuvres that will be passed around for guests to snack on and eat throughout the night. There will also be sketch artists that will be drawing people in their costumes, which is really, really cool to me. And there will be plenty of prizes up for grabs, as well as the Eyeball Casket, which is it's like this amalgamation of items and gift cards that are worth up to $4,000 in prizes, which is really, really cool. And you can also win cash prizes for your costumes, with awards going to Best Male, Best Female, and Best Couples Costume. And each of those categories is eligible to win a $1,000 cash prize if they win. So be sure to show up and show out. KTAL Susan Curtin got to speak with Brian Patchett to hear more.
This supports our Assistive Technology Center. We are in the process of redoing our center. We're basically renovating a space so we can have more space to serve people who are blind or visually impaired, help them to access technology that helps us as people who are blind or visually impaired become more independent every day.
Now that's amazing. So tickets are $55 and they can be purchased at lablind.com.
Yes.
So this is you go all out. Everybody, when I went last year, people really went all out on their costumes. The decor was so grand. And now you're at a brand new location. I can't wait to see how that's going to come together.
That's going to be so amazing. The costumes are incredible. I'm just so surprised. People must have spent days in their costumes.
Right, yeah. They did. So your organization helps so many people. You not only help people who were born with an eye affliction, but people who maybe lost their sight later in life, who now have to learn a whole new way of living.
Exactly. We help people who become visually impaired from maybe a disease or other things that happen. We help you to become independent. We introduce you to technology, help you learn how to get around your house, around the community, and that's something we do all the time. We serve over 2,100 people every year throughout the Architects.
And you can secure your tickets on our website at ktalnews.com, or you can buy them directly at lablind.com. So if you're someone who likes to show out with your Halloween costumes and you want to potentially earn money for it and win the contest, be sure to check out the Eyeball this Saturday at Live Casino and Hotel. I'd love to see what ideas and costumes that y'all have cooking up for Halloween. I know myself, I plan to go all out with, all kinds of, makeup and dress and costume and like everything. I plan to go all out this year. I don't know about y'all. I'm bringing my A game this year, so I'd love to see what y'all have or bringing to the table for Halloween. You can reach me at amocklin@ktalnews.com. If you have pictures, videos, whatever you want to send, I'd love to see them and just see what everybody has working up for Halloween. It's going to be really, really fun this year. But moving on to tonight's activities, specifically with NFL football, on Thursday Night Football, we have the Minnesota Vikings taking on the Los Angeles Chargers, and these are two middle-of-the-road teams. The Vikings are 3-3 right now. They've alternated wins and losses each week, and the Chargers are 4-3, but they did lose to the Colts last week, who are 6-1, which, that came out of nowhere. Nobody really expected them to be competing for the potential number 1 seed in the AFC, so can't really knock that loss too much on the Chargers. But this was a highly, highly touted matchup going into the season because it was supposed to be quarterback J.J. McCarthy for the Vikings taking on head coach Jim Harbaugh of the Chargers. And for those of you who don't know, those two worked together or played together at the University of Michigan, where they won a national championship, where Jim Harbaugh was the head coach and J.J. McCarthy was the quarterback. So it's a shame we're not going to get that tonight, but it's still going to be enjoyable for most people, I'd say. Because, I mean, these aren't bad teams, but they're entertaining enough to where we can get some, value out of this, especially with the stars on both sides. You have Justin Jefferson for the Minnesota Vikings, who's a LSU guy. I mean, for all my LSU fans out there, you know exactly what he can do on the football field. He has been lights out his entire career since joining the NFL, and even back to the LSU days where he put up one of the best seasons of all time as a wide receiver at LSU. And on the other side, we have Justin Herbert for the Chargers, who is a quarterback where he did struggle a little bit. Like last week, he did throw 2 interceptions, but he also threw for a career high 420 passing yards. So kind of bumpy game for him. But speaking of quarterbacks, particularly for the Vikings, their replacement for J.J. McCarthy is quarterback Carson Wentz. And for you NFL fans out there, you know that he was a longtime member of the Philadelphia Eagles. And before he got injured, he was pretty much having an MVP campaign that year. And it was undeniable how good he was and just how mobile he was. But now he kind of looks like a shell of himself. Unfortunately, that injury did kind of derail his career trajectory, which is, like I said, very unfortunate for him. Would love to see that talent on full display and live up to his full potential. But he's been pretty serviceable for Minnesota. I mean, they are 3-3, so they're kind of just like wading in the water. Like, they're not really like beating the good teams. They did beat the Cleveland Browns, the Cincinnati Bengals, and the Chicago Bears, which 2 of those teams are very banged up. They're not really expected to win a whole lot, particularly the Browns and the Bengals. They have been struggling all year, so really not an impressive resume. But like I said, Carson Wentz has been serviceable for them. In his 4 games that he has started for them, he has gone 2-2, which speaks to their split of 3-3 this season. They've been pretty mediocre for the most part without J.J. McCarthy. But in those 4 games, Carson Wentz has thrown for 268 passing yards per game, 5 touchdowns, but 4 interceptions, which is not what you want to see in terms of touchdown to interception ratio for your starting quarterback. But the offensive line, unfortunately, has not done him any favors. In those 4 games, he has taken 14 sacks and 28 hits, which is pretty rough. I mean, there was a lot of speculation that he would not even suit up tonight because of a shoulder injury that he suffered last game just by getting beaten up by the defensive line. And it'll be interesting to see if he can have that protection, what he can do from the air, because the Chargers defense allows the 3rd lowest passer rating in the NFL, so expect their secondary to be tight-knit tonight and not allow a whole lot of big chunk plays. If Minnesota can get their run game going, then that can take some of the pressure off of Wentz for him to perform. And they have been rolling so far with Jordan Mason. I mean, he's been pretty decent, and they might even get Aaron Jones back tonight, who was their original starter coming into the season. But on the Chargers side of the ball, they won their first 3. They beat the Chiefs in the opening week in Brazil, which everybody, that kind of put them on people's radar whenever they beat the Chiefs because, the Chiefs have been to a million straight Super Bowls. They've won 3 of them. So, they've been a top dog of the NFL for a long, long time. And people, and then they won their next 2 and they're 3-0 and everybody's like, oh my gosh, like they're for real. Like their offense has been clicking, like everything has been great. But then came the injuries, especially with their running backs and offensive line. Their starting running back, Najee Harris, coming into the season, ended up tearing his Achilles, so he will miss the entire year. And that has caused a lot of pressure to be put on quarterback Justin Herbert. And he has, like I said, he had a career-high 420 yards last game, but those 2 picks, and he also took 3 sacks. But that lack of running game where he had to throw for all those yards, he ended up being their leading rusher as well, which is, if aside from maybe the Baltimore Ravens, well, maybe not so much with Derrick Henry there, but you never want your quarterback to be the team's leading rusher in any scenario unless he's just, putting up these video game numbers on the ground like Lamar Jackson, who's also been hurt for most of the year. But if you're on the Chargers with an arm as big as Justin Herbert's, like, you do not want him to carry your running game. You want to establish the run with your running backs, and they have really not been able to do so since Najee Harris's injury. It's been kind of a carousel of running backs there, and no real bell cow guy to lead the charge. So it'll be interesting to see if they can get that established tonight. But they really got to protect him, because Minnesota has the second highest blitz rate among NFL teams. So if they can get to him, I mean, I think it'll be a long night for Justin Herbert. But the Chargers are favored by 3.5 points in this game. I really couldn't, if I had to pick, I guess I'd go with the Chargers, just because they have looked better for more of the season. Like I said, they won their first 3 games, whereas Minnesota has kind of been just like mediocre the whole time. But I think if Carson Wentz can get going and they have a more balanced offensive approach, and Minnesota's defense ends up getting to Justin Herbert, I think they can come away with the victory. It'll be really interesting to see. I'm very, very excited to watch this game. Let me know your thoughts on who you think is going to win, and your predictions, your hot takes, your bold predictions. Who do you think is going to score tonight? Whatever bold predictions you might have. Nothing is too bold for this show. I'd love to hear them. You can reach me, like I said, at KTALnews.com. If you want to just talk football, entertainment, movies, whatever you want, you can reach me at that email. Again, that's KTALnews.com. But thank you so much for joining us today on our weekend events segment. Be sure to tune in tomorrow for an edition of Football Friday, where we'll talk more in depth about the games that are happening this weekend, specifically college football, where LSU has kind of fallen from grace from the start of the season. They were a top 5 team at one point, and now they're all the way, I think, at like 20 now. And they are hosting number 3, I believe, Texas A&M this weekend in Baton Rouge. I will be going to that game, so I'm very, very excited about that. But I don't know. The offensive struggles for LSU, that could be its whole show. But I'll save that for tomorrow and maybe another day after that with my gripes about the Tigers. I don't know how you feel about them this year, but they have really not impressed me on offense. And the defense is a little suspect, especially in that last game against Vanderbilt, where, we were touting them as this championship level defense, and then, you give up 30 plus to Vanderbilt, and it's just like, maybe they're not as good as we previously thought, but we'll see. I don't know how you feel. Like I said, you can reach me at amocklin@KTALnews.com if you want to give your take. I'd love to hear it. But be sure to tune in tomorrow and next week for all of our editions of KTAL News Now, which streams every day, Monday through Friday at 1 p.m. on our website at KTALnews.com. And you can find all of our previous videos and go and look at when we showed off the digital center yesterday with all this brand new equipment and technology that is really, really exciting like I said, to deliver the best news possible to you, our audience. So thank you for being here with me. Have a great rest of your day, and thank you for joining us.